Good evening. Technical issues. We are back. We are back. Hopefully it will be better. We have some technical issues, but hopefully we are back. Good evening. Good evening. We are back. We have technical issues, but we are back. Hopefully we are going to be okay now. Okay, yes.
Oh, and Jashu Padelo, can you hear me?
Yes.
We thank God.
Yes. Mule umfika faint filia fine so mule landisha kofe panono like I don't know.
I
Maybe
think, it must be coming from your end because the viewers did indicate here that they can hear me very loud.
Okay, then let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Thank you. So greet the viewers. I know we are late.
Thank you.
Greet the viewers and then we can get started.
Thank you. Good evening, viewers. Muribwanji, Mutozichwani, Muriuri, Mudingai, Muributi wa Zambia, Muributi, Murishani, Vena Zambia, Murishani.
No one too.
Waribi Yabuti.
Kalabuti.
Wakara kaboto. Fionse filikaboto, Mama Pumulo. Apart from the drama that has been unfolding. This drama that has been unfolding, it's very sad. Hey, Zambia nayo. When are people going to listen to some good news from us? I don't know.
Ndoshi mumushi paka fintu fikala pena fiantu tukeka tendoshi. Uyo wale wele Zambia until baka exposed, things will not go well.
Ati twauka mwauka bwanji kulikuuka manje Mzambia kulikuuka United we stand, divided we fall. So Mwena Zambia, we are here to talk about buying of the youth to intimidate the Zambians. This buying of the youth to intimidate the Zambians is very serious. Kwena Mzambia, I am a leaders tukwete walete Tom and Jerry. The Tom and Jerry kind of leadership. Tuturebuka fyolu chero tumbinato akakambia kachila tukanati makaka kutuka walisi yeo ati makaka ka praise sing akawa UPN. Did you know the meaning of makaka? Makaka is a person who goes jumping from tree to tree kula tukanafyo Pakena, thank God nakafwala nensalo pantu kama kaka kaya kale ungwa fekale tukana. Shame on you. Tuwaya tukuwali ufako isiye wafumi yako insele mukanwa kakwe. Mwewe na Zambia tule kwata kwa mchinshi mwanje. Mwe. So Mama Pumulo, you want me to go first?
Actually, I want to play that audio. I want to play the audio so that the listeners can hear it. The latest one.
Which one is that?
The latest one from Mr. Ground.
where ground is threatening that he doesn't want to be intimidated and so on and so forth.
Yes, so we are gonna play that one.
Ine chifo abantu abantita intimidate. Nchifo omuntu wakunita intimidate. The issue for simple what to us over within 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Mama fiashi, what you tell me about fiashi besu. But information I think in Amboglam no what man got to wash. Unu chilo na chimi ano kunyigo kwebati. Mwabomba pana abantu abapsana. Bodyguard please. Nampo kwishwa za abanza wala kilista wapete problem. Lomsungu tapete wash. Matso chumuma shingulu kana Zambia yonse. I think itakwete wash. Abena efe utandara futi banga bakashana mwabomba nini. Na bakasa kwa bobe numba pana mboku iliko kwa I think mwana kwato wash mwe. But kulubali wanti ile kile kushanya. Me, I want my money. 50 pini cha America, 50 pini Mr. Ground. Echo tulera direction da machine to shoko. Ifa tafikwa attempt to kunchite intimidate mulanda ti makoti ukabo tafikwa attempt. Therefore 50 pin or else mule wa image Jones mule wa exposed. Whenever exposed in America, image there where I don't get now what a backup system kuma kwa timka wonfe mingala I don't care. Remember the 23 October day. Mambiki the pavili. Ukunda chita peer to observer ukwati as a leader mudati nebo na kind official. Ukumambika ti observer international observer if ukumambika ti nebo official as a delegate. Ukumambika ti observer. So, you want to change in I don't care if you have defamation book post a bonfian film. What time for CHAMA America? Honestly speaking, CHAMA America Mutanza Muna didn't want to like a pantan fight a mayanda. No beer, I think I could under. There are some like to gain a maki. CHAMA America, don't give them anarchy, please. Gavaya Pantula Molef Kalwam Buffalo Wation. Red Pushan upon Pani Benende. Never got a backup system, never got a backup. If you have attention, if you have for Linda, Mama 50 pin, we better be Navena Ibede. We need my money to use Silapo. If it is SAMPA. Look to the party of a lot of enemies. Very what to say. Number one, go to somebody for to come. Second, CHAMA, one for to come. Third, which part of a two? Western, what I need to soak up. Mumbita to anyone who she never leave young life. Why shall I think up to Friday? Well, the county down. Or else, but they tell you how to pick. Vale tell you pick. Elona more you pick this up. Now, what now we saw call. Because they concentrate to plan the political room. Romutare Melina, Papa Calava. Now, I'm going to pocket on my pot, but it didn't move for the pot, Palava Calava. So if you think Lumba can be a president, that I'll be quite part. So, Posen come on over, Lusaka, Copa Coach, automatically now Lusaka, my opinion, I'm a member of parliament. President. I'm able to be now second Copa vote. But no, if you guys are 2026 president account, but I'm please what a cheap, but my wage. Then we should have don't get started. So, Posen one man. So English thing, but some parent got a backup. Now, when you to got time from Kunawich, but it's a PF, Tamachona way, to allow a grassroots, to allow one bit of Pamusan. Think the book class, and what if Palifili was up to join. But you will see. Therefore, don't intimidate if you have to type up my Facebook. One people are under defamation. Defamation for what? Evidence is there. Don't you can a business, you can share no money. You have Manoko, some brand that defamation. Which defamation? For 25 years, what more defamation? I save them. And let me warn you. Now, I shall go on. From last Friday, he been up to now. Then it takes pause. Or else,
Why freedom quiet? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the current situation in the country where we have Mr. Ground threatening. You know who he's threatening. There are many videos, but that is the latest one. So we are here to say, you know, we have been talking. Inganifa broken record. A lot of people, they don't even come on this page anymore. We have a lot of followers, but abantu balina kanaifu ashibana mayo bali okulandalanda broken records. Posheni abantu mama.
Mwapolen pomkwai ichunglo pomkwai mama niki matipa ati twamulisa nfweta tupwa kusala ekibemba ati twamulisa nfweta tupwa kusala mwe bantu besu bonse mwe bali apa nami posha mushita ya chungulo ekibemba chalanda ati mwamina bantu tanaka mwamina ngunie unaka so kanshi tatu atendwe yo pantu ichalo cha Zambia na chikaba erwe chalo cha Zambia na chonaika erwe chalo cha Zambia chileyo buyanuma tachileyo buyantanshi achirayo buyantanshi bonse ngata tulebana pamidi okulaona ula ama bundles ya bread na totela mkwai mama pumulo muliko fenti sana
Problem tukwetelelo mama ni sound.
okay.
Ine, I can
Okay,
hear now
Papa,
very
Papa.
loud and clear. I can hear you, Mama Pumulo, loud and clear.
Okay, so tubike kofi ama volume, but we are here kulanda pali ashiriave na ground na CHAMA, and the story is that by youth mwaimwena tulamieva lyonse by youth do not be used by these politicians. Mwamoneni abanenu abena ground na CHAMA. Who knew that today tapalapita shinga October, November, December, January, February, 5 months. Why shibe ati kutchabe fininani? But you know why this is coming? Because if yakudi obushi kufumina kumalushi lesatafai olufiengo elwa bena Zambia na balila hello, the irony is ababena ground kwisa mkula alanda ati agreement is agreement baleri na democracy ine shikwete na mashui mama lundeni mpo bamachipa kutumwa abalira po and then ba mama kutumwa konka ili ashiria bena ground that kwata ma topic ayengi but ili ashiria bena ground ili ashiri kalamba lero.
Thank you very much, Mama Pumulo. As you've rightly put it, we are here to discuss two clowns in the name of CHAMA. When I'm here, mutunturu kuti wayaipere shinati CHAMA America. America wakwiza shinadi overi apa mutoto wakufiere nayo. Naka nankwe. Indeed, Mama Pumulo, if yakudi obushiku fiturukira kumalushi. These clowns of young boys were used by these politicians to destroy PF. The real PF, now it has come back to haunt them. The very perpetrators of evil. Today, the two clowns are bringing everything in the open. Mao's and company, Mao's SAMPA and company. You need to be ashamed of your failed schemes. You need to be ashamed, Mao SAMPA. These same clowns are instrumental in organizing the shameful convention of Mao SAMPA and were protected by the police of this country. The police were there to guard that fake convention. The police went even further to guard the PF Secretariat. And it is evident, it is true that they had the blessings of the current government. So UPND, instead of working, you decided to support lawlessness. You decided to support lawlessness. And then you have akamuntu kwatika Cornelius Muetwa, who has been a kakapokola before, but has a very careless mouth. What do you expect from these two clowns? Zambians voted for UPND because they thought democracy will prevail. But alas. And so you now know that vengeance belongs to the Lord. It doesn't belong to you. This habit of persecuting former leaders needs to come to an end. It needs to come to an end, because this is what you get. Ututu inotuma clowns utomwale chita entertain lero twaisa mukumisebanya. When we were talking about it here, some people chose not to believe us. But tutuma clowns twalete lya shipalwelele. They have divulged that they were sent by Mao's SAMPA, which saw Chavinga being named as leader of opposition. So but there are parliamentarians that worked so hard for those seats were shamed, were humiliated, were disrespected by the Zambians that gave them the mandate to represent them in parliament. Because of two clowns plus one bigger clown who decided to disrespect the constitution. So, I would like to say, you know, when things like this happen, the leaders that be are aware of it. They know what's going on. And they promote it. We all saw the video of Mr. HH even telling Chavinga, ati kulibe manta, osayopa iyai. What were you trying to say? What did you mean by that? And so this vengeance has to come to an end. Mr. HH, you need to learn to forgive. Inepano, I have forgiven you, but I have not forgotten. Why can't you do the same? Which God do you serve? Mema leaders from Zambia, which God do you serve? Let's learn to be good leaders and listen to the Zambian people. Listen to their complaints 24/7 on social media. Nowadays, tapalifisumapa social media. It's either people complaining or clowns and praise singers ukulalete fya buwelewele pa social media. That's what's going on. Leaders of this country, you need to be transparent and tell the Zambians that are the collateral of the MOUs you are negotiating and signing. Monies you are borrowing on behalf of Zambians. Uyoka sonde mwenda achiralanda lero ati money that was borrowed from China, the amount is horrendous. You're borrowing that money on our behalf because we are the collateral. Zambia is going through a serious drought. Instead of Wema leaders addressing such issues, you decide to promote clowns. clowns are running ministries. Never ministry. You promised the Zambians that, oh, you will come and see what type of constitution we are going to bring. You will change the constitution. You rubbished Bill 10. What has happened? And now we are just entertained by two little silly clowns. So, Mr. HH, I'm here to say the buck stops at you. It stops at you. Remove that pride you possess, the arrogance, the disrespect of Zambians. Show some love, respect, humility, compassion. May your presence be a source of restoration in the lives of the Zambian families. You need to foster understanding and cooperation for the greater good of humanity. Muleteka abantu. Tamuleteke namaiyo. Bantu who have feelings. Let the spirit of reconciliation touch your heart. For as long as you continue with undemocratic processes in the name of Imingalato, you are setting a bad precedence for the youth of Zambia. That is why you see these clowns doing whatever they can do, because they think they are bigger than Zambia. They are starring. For them, it's a movie, it's a film. They've made headlines. Here we are talking about those two clowns here today. I never imagined one day I will be talking about two clowns in the name of CHAMA. And what's the other one's name?
Ground.
Ground. What a name, Ground.
That's Kapungwe.
I never imagined I would come before a camera and talk about two people who are not only bringing this unity in Zambia, but promoting division, thinking they are greater and mightier than the Zambians that put this government to govern this country. So my appeal again is to ask Mr. HH, the buck stops at you. Put an end to the comedy that is going on in Zambia. Put an end to it. The Zambians are looking up to you. We know you watch these programs. We are not here to insult you or disrespect you. All we are saying is govern the country as a statesman. Because when you start talking about Mingalato, what do you then expect from the youth? You're praising us, insulting former presidents, insulting everybody, and you see nothing wrong with it. Mama Pumulo, thank you for now.
Thank you, Mama Matipa. Mama Mary, the floor is yours. It's very sad and embarrassing, really. It is very sad from where we were in 2020, 2021, and the voice of HH giving so much hope to Zambia, to in less than 2 years, to come to a country in shambles, to come to all these cold wars, war of words, you know, Zambia Mwadibama cold wars between regions. There are cold wars happening. I listened to Tayali, you know. Tayali is desperate, to say the least. When I listened to Tayali's live yesterday, I sensed desperation. He was emotional to a point that he even wants to cry. because zimingala toshire fuma kukuli government. Ubuteko is using different institutions to break down the rule of law in Zambia. But when the president is standing there, he preaches rule of law, Yonze. But what is happening is different. Mama, you can comment.
Na totela sana pamashiwi ayakankala aya asoma kuli ba mama aniki matipa amashiwi yalabeba okutila utwala pabwingi tonaula kanshi mama mwabombeni pamashiwi mwachita advise bakateka bachalo chesu cha Zambia mwabomba pako bachita advise amashiwi mwalanda mashiwi akakala kabiri na mashiwi ene alandile bapumulo stumbeko okuba okusakamana abekele mu chalo cha ku diaspora ndesha matotero kuri imwe bonse mwe bayikala mu diaspora bakusakamana ko musakamene ku making sure kumono kutila kumyesu ku Zambia ichalo tachirenda bwino kwisa kwili ashiri abana bale itwe fimbuma ifimpowosa ifinkula ifyameneni ameno kumulu ifikopo ukwisa kuli abana nalalando kutila ati ubu bwafyanga na mukonka bwino sana ile mwachibika video apa mwala londolola udi ati Mr. Ground na achilangirira fyoko bati mulirya shimulya Maria shayengi mulirya shima mama tipa mulirya shiri kalamba because uyu mwana napa kutesa lande ali amashwa lande lyokutila na mkwata backing kubuteko ndino kumisokolola which means uyu mulandola ukesa palwelu ukabalusa musambu no ushalimo akabamo efiri echibemba chilanda ati inama yaba icheta inona elo echibemba chibomu ibirima aba birima tabaya elo chimbina chwati nalikwebere tabulapo elo chimbina chwati tuko alinsoke baneta kwafuile bantu ati pakoma ila nondo nishipali ukulema ati solo wamye no kwimbokosi ulumuletele lunsambu sambu no ushari mwaka bamu elo echimwaleta chala isa chisoko lole fintu fingi sana pantunga tuwalole shakunu moku ababa iche balanda tuwala misokolo elo ni shibamwe bamwetwa badisa sokolo kutila ili otatula teke chalo cha Zambia tuwatumile bakambwili bisalete chimfulunga nyapa mitundu shabantu so ndemiebe chinene chishinko kutila ifyalaisa fitumbuke muri rumulandu ababa iche pantule sali kwa tamanu akabangasi ala tuma bantu bakutile fintu kusokolo mama matipa muri babemba mwalishwe fibemba ya up to z ubu ebuli abeba tibuka sonko mona ubu akula pampampamina no mumana muleta pamu mulomba wafi ababa ichabena chama America bali nedi ashiri kalamba ababa ichabena chama America bali nedi ashiri kalamba eru ababa nano batufilio kubata protect pantu kuti balubanga kabiro okuti eliminate evidence ngamwalole kisha afya sana ukulingana nesho balelanda bali nedi ashiri kulu ili tabala atula pachalo cha Zambia balefwa yokutula ebyashi ero nino mbali inefye bala ditula isi system mu Zambia ifwili okupwa bana mayo mu Zambia mulechi tenshi imwe bana mayo mweba likolelo ngani mwaba mwalikolo balepo ko buntu ngata mwatungirire bashibantu kupoke chalo ngata bapokere techi tule tamba ififile chitika muchalo chesu cha Zambia chile onaika tule tamba bashita na watu wafata muchalo chesu cha Zambia bunda bwafi sungu n'amatai n'amajacket n'amafokona ngadi mwamu aliko ero balepo ko buntu ngoga tamwapokele pantu mo wonse mo batulie ababa ichabe na chama America babulire mitwe yabo kubika pa chopping board pamulandu abantu abanonu ababa selfish ero lili abapokecho balefwaya baba posa kaide system bakwata ngababo mfyaba na babalanda babo mfyaba na bampofu babo mfyaba na banshiwa ero nomba lili abafu bapoka kwecho balekabira bonse bashaba baposa kabiri na batecho balekabira echo le sale ministra expose pantu mubomfya balanda mubomfya bana banshiwa mwala ba expose du bisana ababa naba umya bena chama America ba nali bebe tisha bitwale kukotero bantu kili amaseri yakuru kuri fikesa tumbuka kuntanji pantu muri bana bano mwatuka bonse okubatuka abena lungu bonse ba isi obalitukwa ba catholic ba bishop ama pastors ba katolika bonse ama fathers bonse balitukwa kuli ababana. That's why mwamwena chabelezi yakwabe chalo chabatuka bashima pepo mwaikata kuli chechi mwatuka pamula nwa selfishness yenu mwone ili nombe fya chitika chama America mwana wanti imitwe yenu ya bapa chopping board nalimye batkwadi benshita ifika inshita ifintu fyonse fyali kwateshita erwe ensansa shinyo bulanda apano mbana munyo bulanda ero bubulanda tamulanya na munyo bulanda imwe mwaba ichecho mwalafu aiko kuchita kuchalo cha Zambia kuchita apologize kuba kalamba bonse Zambia yose bo mwatukire na bakatolika mwatukire bonse kachiteni apologize kalamba bonse Zambia yose bo mwatukire bantu bali mibomsho kula tukaba kalamba Zambia yose erwe shwenda la mulero mbakuli ba mao SAMPA na shichepa umulimo mwabombe no kutukaba kalamba Zambia yose na ukula pantu yo tukaba kubitaka nyo kubitwala nomba kuma koti tamwaka mone bakumilipirira so ebeni ba mao SAMPA mpera limo lupia ulukala bitita protect mu makoti pantu nombe nshita ya Afrika iyali ngenye uwa mano ne chipuba uyu mulandu tawulife pali mao pali chama America na Mr. Ground weka uyu mulandu uli na pali uyu mulumendo uitwa tifimbo poke mulenya mulela pila mwebe na Zambia mule pia ne Londa and for sure bena Zambia bali simba bali poka uyu mulumendo atebele byo kutuka ba ediga chagwa lungu ukubatuko kutukira kubona bakashi ale moneka kwatie wikete chalo cha Zambia ushemwa umefyo uli Zambia munole muna mistakes bakutale tukaba kalamba na ngula chakutira ba ediga lungu bali rufyenye no bateko batukula batukensere shikuru kutukira kumona bana ukubasangula kapuba le sali bapingula kale ba ediga chagwa lungu chinshina kabili twala batukira nga nefo kubakalipira kutina bakalipira vye munshira isuma iwe fimbo poke kwa bakalipira vya chimweta tale kenyu kwinyo tuma pamero tomule imya na imwelo mwali ntungulushi bweno bantu bali chulire ukuchira kula batuka ala chine bible yali kanyaba na batuka bakalamba ifimule chita lunsambu no ushali mwaka bamo ero chali bipasa na batata baka ine bichi batonga tabayishiwa gutila irishiwe lyabo mfye lya fimbo poke mulenya mulela pira igesa bani slogan yakubatira ko di campaign mu 2026 pantulishiwiri bi apali abantu abale chula kuba senda bwini lishiwiri bi teshiwiri sumayo mwamule katwalira abali twalira 5 years ile po abantu bale fimba bale poka bale nya bale la pira kwali bamashiwa yo tubomfya ayo chyo mushi alo bubunkanyama ilwa sangire mpanga na bocha taile fwaika yo ububunkanyama ilo asangire mpanga na bocha chibe mbecho tensere ilo nkanyama ilo asangire mpanga na bocha afilwa pa kunyela ilili inena line na mona chipalia kuti na ikala na nyela bo palia elo nyela limo balia bonse bale tukaba tukuba nyela limo before tamula sange mpanga na bocha hey atina tukwate nshimdo mob alande ebe chinene chinka ichichalo chesambia lawlessness ya chilamo takwa be chalo chikwata ba ichikwete bakapokola because bakapokola babela ko kusopo mtende wa chalo bakapokola bali kwi ukuleka abana banono okulatuka bakalamba Zambia yonse amasele katusekelemo pantu ichalo cha Zambia mwali cha sacrifice ukuchipera kulileso kutila chibe chalo chabe na Kristo muchalo mumule Zambia is a Christian nation kwalita sacrifice kulilesa emo mwale kaba na bale pola masere aduka ukutukaba fyash babo na Bible yakani mwaba kalamba bonse mulindwi mule tamba some ministerial positions ama ministers ama MPs ama councillors bonse bali bapa mute kwatita bale mone file chitika mchalo nombalo lele ni kuipele pelele sefi ya michita ifula mchalo cha Zambia tamuli kale tuambo okubirembira apa ifwe bana mayo okuti chimfyenyu bwafya bw'abantu kulatukana amasele chimfyenyu bwafya bw'abakashana okulafulamina ku kyalo kya Zambia abana Zambia yonse okulaposa amatako mu audience ya kyalo mulenje bokutile kyalo kuti kyaba blast hey oh la la oh way punishment na ifika elo tapalati pantulesa ni nyelo nyela banyela les padia yole pingiro kunyela banovela sale kupingira pantu enyela wabanyela ewa ishwo kunyela banyela abanyela banyela na lekera na pape atotera
Koma ilapo mama, koma ilapo sosa ichalo chile kumfwa mama. Thank you.
God. So apo bapelesha tunde mitambika mwana na lekeri ndishe video pakuti tuilashilanda fyefintu mule mwana katulebe pobufi. Let me play this. Let me play this. Uyumulumendo le tukanaba Edgar Lungu. And then we'll comment. Just hold on, just hold on. Therefore, publish a video, elo tuise to comment. Okay, moneni, uyumulumendo ale tukanaba former head of state.
volume mama
impiyama $400,000 amaleso mshahara kwa kwabeno mwe tunga abantu mrefu kushitaka kamera shaisho kwa abantu bamwaika life yabo no ero muri bamwe mu rupo runose ero film wa kumana fe abakashina bano was bonse tamano tamakwata onse afaza nzeru kalibe omukazi waye onse nzeru kulibe that's why imwe mfaika fi akamuntu kadere sana muzambo kama vati bicharo chabaoshi lungu techaro chabaoshi sochena ero hapo akakufanya kwa immunity so tukamuronga kwa mfupi gongo filaka ilena letu konona kwa fenda chama ndipo nokaine iwe utu anandefinga itawapo nokapo imumfo ikarajenga simuka punoke kwa ndo mkonfo abane bale mfano Deus lumunguru kale tsara faza kale tutuveno tuvya mapamera kene mpiro kale kwate mpia shacha kale pera maude kale kana msika ndio lero ka faza kale kale tuvya lumunguru no kale itingo ne soko shiba tuvya chizi lumunguru kale yo alisho pono gusta bomtengo na yo tawa shano gusta mtengo wa bungayo mpia fewa ibana bana wa makakai rofa mle tuterera aka faza kale fa ka fetumia immunity ora nomba kakengere kwa kuchindozo kakayangusha kwemisu CHAMA South kwa kakachinjara bantu amana ina taakwa takafaza kare tisafio kuwa furu very useless man. Stop it.
Okay, mwe bantu bakwalesa people. It's like in and there and it's like what kind of country out we kala kwena Zambia umuntu abukafye mutulo nefikofi kweta suku isena mukanwa aisa mkutukana former head of state. This is nonsense. I don't care what Edgar Lungu did. He has immunity. He's a former president. He took care of the Zambians better than the current president. Ubunga bantu baleshta pali 110 few ya shinga. Ba Edgar Lungu bali kwa temirandu. No one has the right. Ukula bukafye mutulo. Tasambi na pamenso. Aisa mkula tukana ba Edgar Lungu. It is a shame. But Zambia police, where are you? We are tired of this anarchy. Eh? Lekeno kubonfya abana baba neno CHAMA America oyo nomba n'abanako barela pira CHAMA nakabungwe bambo kulala pira uyuna ena taleleka. You know what, I can just say kwali balesa kumulu. If the law of the land will not protect you, Lesa will send his wrath. Lesa ni mabiotola kefi ne balandire bamayo Lesa atininyera wabanyera ababana ababale iletera mashamo pamibiri shabo ama politics tema politics ya kula isokula tukaba kalamba papa ma social media. No, what kind of politics is this? But wale ni kuma koti uyu wine na ponga ni nani ka Frank whatever his name is ka kasa mbila mle fimba mle poka bateka le poka utuma tobo tulifie mpepi no poka nomba hii but kambo kwe abantu atabantu bale fimba bale poka but ene ule poka. Frank should go to Zambia police, call someone ba ECAO and all those things he says about our former president, let him say to it in front of the judges. To anaka UPND na ba HH, please take control of this country. Yeah? Take control of this country. We are sick and tired. Enough is enough. Umwa ichara ne kofefi alefo ya mwabula mwaya mukaka. Hate speech defamation. Eyo mwishi befe nomba ni defamation. Uwa kola kofe defamation. Ushe defamation ya lipa yo mundu. Ndo uliole cha insult my HH. Nishta mwamu kakila. Awa tutukana lionse pano defamation. Why are they not arrested? But let someone who is not UPND come and say something. Kumukakatalale munganda. It's a shame on you. So I think we can move to the next topic. But you know the situation in the country, we can't go on like this. Yeah.
Before you move to the next topic, kwena amashu yakwa ngani chopi uyu chopi ine. I wish to appeal to Mr. HH. Honestly and sincerely, if you do not pick up this Frank Chopi, then you must be behind it. Because these are the greatest insults I've ever heard. Then the law is selective. It is really selective. Then you must be protecting him. Why doesn't he have the audacity to say those words to you? You are equally a president. Edgar Lungu was the president of this republic. And so Akakeneka Chopi has the audacity to say, oh, Zambia ni country ya uso. Well, let me tell him, si ya nyoko, Zambia si ya nyoko yai. iwe oganiza kuti vanyoko vekuvyala muno kuti iwe oyambe otukana abantu bakulu uliye na nsoni kapuva iwe namwe va HH chitanipo chimozi vapitiriza ivi manje ngati muvomeresa tu vantu tuliye na nzeru kutukana vantu muno muzambia next ni moyo wakatukane kaleza so ni miuja mutaeko nzeru mutaeko nzeru ndamwezo kamba pano ato ine niwele kuchita practice rule of law ukachimwa you are on your own lomba uyu munyamata achimwa mumuyangana tyala mwamvwaka so ni miuja mwe wa HH na T the back stops at you agwile na mambala ngati simuzaba agwila ba mambala aba next akamitukane mweo so tamipapata vose vochita vanyamata otukana every day aliye ulemu mwe vimikondolesha ife mazambia tikuti yaya HH.
Good evening,
Tikepo
my beloved
na njala
mothers.
muno mzambia tikepo na njala notukaniwa aikona man Mazambians vakana maningi. Thank you mama.
Quite someone, go ahead, comrade. I'm trying to add you.
Good evening, my beloved mothers. Good evening, my beloved mothers.
Good evening.
Really, one thing I just want to say first of all is just to thank you as mothers. Surely, in the past, when Zambia was fighting for independence, mothers were there physically, and they would fight, alongside the men, our forefathers. And seeing you today, using the power of the media, really what you're doing is really great. Things are not okay in our country. We are really in trouble. Especially when you see the youths being used in this manner. You can use the youths rightly, to advance certain cause. But when you use, I've been complaining, from one thing that you find mostly in UPND is the audacity that people have, especially in the disrespecting of our mothers, women in our country. They are insulted left, right, and center. Nobody's going to wake up and say, what these people condemn, whatever these people are doing. Mama Edith Nawaki will call the prostitute at some point, by the UPND cadres. Mama Chika Monica has been insulted, I don't know how many times. Mama Pumuno several times. These are our mothers. Mothers mean a lot for a nation. There is no way things would go well, no matter how intelligent you are as a leader, as long as you allow such things to happen in the country. We cannot progress. There is nothing really that can happen. The more reason we're having these challenges. Edgar Lungu, for God's sake, he was a president chosen by God to lead the nation of Zambia at a given time. He's a parent, he's a father. And when you look at these so useless, I call them useless because I don't even know the homes where these people come from. Whether they grew up in their parents or anything, there is no way you could disrespect elders like that. And no one, is daring or bothering to stop what these people are doing. Any person that speaks against, the cause of the ruling government before they realize it, even the complaining, just the mayor complaining to say, no, milimi is expensive. It is deformation of character or deformation of whatever it is. You'll be arrested before time. We don't know where we are going as a nation. But my encouragement to you, our mothers, continue speaking. You know, it might appear like there is really nothing happening, but they are hearing. The impact is big. People are awake. People are understanding. These, what we are seeing on these two, I call them two idiots, ground and the friend. This is just the beginning. There is more to come, just like Mama Chika Monica has said. There is more to come. These are going to really experience things that they've never experienced. Let Mao Sampa give them a lot of money, really, because a time for reckoning is coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you, comrade. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mama Mary namkwata mashiwi nangwa Anik.
Well, for me, I would just like to say, as a country, let us learn to put our differences aside and win the confidence of the Zambians. Right now, there is division in Zambia. We are in this together for the purpose of achieving the overall objective, which is to respect the Constitution that speaks to the needs and aspirations of the Zambians. We are predominantly a Christian nation, and so we need to demonstrate these values. We need to hold the country together and not allow certain people to divide nor dehumanize us. We need to look at ways that we are going to improve the lives of the Zambians. You know, like for example, look at structures that will respond to the Zambians' challenges. Right now, we have a lot of challenges to strengthen our country through development, which will in turn empower the Zambians' lives, a better life, free from unnecessary diseases like cholera, typhoid, maternal deaths, and so on and so forth. But instead of addressing such issues, we have clowns who decide that it is better to promote the president of this nation by insulting other people. We need to go to the core problem Zambians are facing, which is hunger. And so when you see ECL buying to Pamela Tudia, he's just reliving what the Zambians are going through. I dare you, Mr. HH, to go out in the market and buy those to Pamela that ECL has been buying. I'm daring you to do that. You will regret you ever existed. Because when you do that, you will realize what message the Zambian people have for you. Because the Zambian people went into that Hero Stadium and booed your friend. I have said it on this program. You're booing. You will want to go to the grave the very day. Just go out in the market and interact with the people. All regions of Zambia need to work together and listen to other people's views. So the unity and peace the Zambian people want is the core issue. They want to eat. They don't want you ukulaba zembaika nokulaba bepo bufi. At the kwacha has dropped to 11.97. We are not children. Stop lying to us. Chopi na ground. Not us. You cannot have a dollar dropping from 29 point something Milo. Maya Congo Lendalama, then you drop it to 11.97. What an artificial drop. We are not imbeciles. In short, please forgive my French. We need to bring back and maintain the values that Zambians earned in this country. We earned those values from our neighbors. A lot of African countries used to look up to Zambia at the peace and unity that existed. But Zambia now is a laughing stock. We were highly admired here. We have produced African leaders. Most of the African leaders passed through this country. And yet Zambians have degenerated in the way they live their lives. No respect. This country has now degenerated into a dictatorship. This is not what Zambia fought for. Not at all. It is very clear. Just recently, we were burying the president of Namibia, Hage Geingob. All those people passed through this country. The Moses Chitenderos, the Chivutes, and so on and so forth. The Theo Ben-Gurirabs. All those passed through the United Nations Institute for Namibia. They respected this country. But we have degenerated that we do not even deserve the respect that other countries used to give us when Kaunda existed. I was watching Hage Geingob's funeral. I must tell you one thing, Mr. HH. Kudos to you. I admired the way you went to pay your respect. I admired the way you went to put the soil on the grave. You did something that touched my heart. You and your wife. You knelt down. You don't know what that did for the Namibians. They applauded you. The commentator said, this is the tradition of Zambians. They kneel down when they go and pay their respect. On that, a job well done. A job well done, Mr. HH. I end for now, Mama Pumula.
Thank you. I think about if I could join a connection, but the last topic tonight, I'm going to play a short video and then we tackle the last topic. But I'm going to comment after this Nganalisha video. $3 billion. $3 billion. 600 companies, $3 billion. And China is not the only one interested in Zambia's resources. The European Union is planning to bid for mines as well. The G7 wants to build a railway line in the country. Zambia is in the middle of a bidding war. And that means there's a lot of money involved. The scope for corruption is huge. Countries like these need to stay vigilant. They must oversee leases and sales involving crucial natural resources because no one should be allowed to exploit a country for one Mercedes-Benz. So I came across this video, which is going viral. It is a clip, but there is a very important message in that video. whatever is happening in Zambia is a distraction. These hooligans coming to insult ECL, they are taking away from what we Zambians should be focused on. The whole world is talking about it. Zambians, wake up. Wake up, Zambia. That woman talking there, that is what the entire world is talking about, our wealth and our national crucial resources which Zambia is possessing. That's why but they are sending people to come and divert the attention. Zambian, the attention is our resources. This is where we should focus. If you Matthew, so the whole world is talking. Ukwebati Zambians, they are ready to chinkula, but not to chinkula. Ukwebati all Zambians must be involved in these contracts that are being signed. They must be public. Because of the vast resources we have and the vast value, and what we have is the future. So, if we are busy talking about CHAMA America, now when are we going to talk about what HH is signing in the secret MOUs? When are we going to talk about the yellow maize that is coming in Zambia? A company called Wunde. That milling company called Wunde is now packaging milling yellow maize and selling it. Who is talking about it? Who is talking about the GMO? Who authorized GMO to come in Zambia? Eh? That's why when it means and let us look at our wealth being stolen under our noise while we talk about CHAMA America. All of this could be a stage. All this could be staged to distract Zambians for all I know. Bali 15 billion to China. Where is the 15 billion US dollars? If they got the 15 billion US dollars in October, can't all Zambians' lives be changed by now? They are not servicing the debt of Aishida. So they have got that 15 billion from China, and then who IMF 9 billion. Who is talking about that? Zambia, this is the real matter we need to talk about as Zambians. Our wealth. Because every time mu parliament muliakula suspend abantu kulala ndefintu ifishile tutwala pantanji. Look at where we have come. After 2 years, Bali promise Bali will fix it. Everything is a secret MOU. You know, look at where we are. Look at the poverty levels. Look at our democracy has been stolen. Now to tulela ndapali CHAMA America, democracy is never seen. Now to tulela ndapali CHAMA America, ubunga kumirenge kulia baleshta pali 850. A bag. It is there on Freddie Member's page. He can't lie. Why would Freddie Member lie at Ubunga Bareshta? Pali 850 a bag. In a rural area where people have no income, they have no jobs. Nama villagers. So I'm just appealing to you Zambians to wake up. Wake up and let us question these people. And we are asking Bahaka Inde, Zambia is for everyone. Bahaka Inde, this is my appeal. You alone as a president of Zambia cannot make a decision for 20 million people. It is illegal. Nangukuno kwene kwa America, Joe Biden tete MF yapange decision for 350 million people. They go more assembly mudia. Even when those companies, that's why you see that the US government does not do businesses. Abachitama businesses mu Africa, private companies from America, China, France, Europe, Russia, private companies come to do business here. It's not the American government that is coming to do a business here. So our government is dealing with these private companies. Joe Biden does not have a power to sign a secret MOU on his own without his government knowing. So why do we as Zambians allow that? I was watching Dr. Chiombori, that doctor from Zimbabwe. Watch that woman. She was firing shots and talking about how Africa is impoverished by design. And it is time for we to start to wake up. It is already happening in Mali and other countries in West Africa. Guinea, all ministers, their passports were revoked and their properties seized. It is public wealth. You cannot be worshiping politicians because you gave them a vote. They are not to be feared. We respect them, yes, but we are not going to fear them. We will hold them accountable to the law of Zambia. Zambia is bigger than Hakainde Ichilema. These are facts. Let us know our constitution. Let us know our rights. Let us stand to live a better Zambia. Because if we don't, you know what's going to happen? Your grandchildren will be slaves. Could you mind showing over Kakidonia? Alelanda. Ukweba chaba kweni ba you don't kuya. Now I'm slavery. Yeah, we sheba kaunda ba imwesha. When is the last time we had yellow maize? During Kaunda, and then they were lied to. They fought against the imports, but not where we have a government willingly deceiving its own people. God forbid, and shame on you to willingly deceive the Zambians. This is the time for all countrymen to unite and open your eyes. ZNBC yo. Mune tamba fiama highlights. Chapwa. Hello nampela mama. Ngana mkwata mashuki. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I was just thinking, you know, and saying one of the problems of the developing world is we don't focus enough on the potentials that exist within ourselves. We abhor developing good infrastructure, which will allow us to do more between ourselves and among ourselves. The reason I say this is, I remember the previous government that built a lot of structures. And people that I interacted with would say to me, manje tizaja ma hospital. Tizaja ma skulu. Tizaja miseo zamene mumanga. I was like, goodness me. We are always looking outside for aid. And that's being taken advantage of to the detriment of our people. We always want to look at the larger and more sophisticated market. We need to build capacity amongst ourselves. And so we need leaders that are going to go out there and be good negotiators. Why are African leaders so bad at negotiating? I was listening to Kasonde Mwenda's program where I heard that we are giving foreigners 51% of our natural resources. We are in an era of working towards improving our own continent with our own resources. We have great opportunities like tourism, mining, but why can't the Zambians be empowered with those resources? We need to get away from the era of poor negotiating abilities. God awarded us with these resources that are much needed by the Western world. Let us use them to our advantage.
And
Again, to borrow...
just to cut you short, Apopeni. This lady, that's the same doctor, she said that Africans are corrupted, that there is like 500 billion which goes to these leaders as corruption. So my question is, why can't they take that 500 and invest it in Africa?
Exactly, you know, because we are the custodians and owners of all these resources, and so these resources need to trickle down to us. Again, to borrow Kasonde Mwenda's phrase, high cost of living is a result of poor leadership. It is poor leadership. Zambia is rich, but we are always called third world countries. Have you ever asked yourselves why African countries are always called third world and not first world?
You know, because today there was something which said that Zambia is bankrupt. That is a bankrupt country.
It's terrible. I mean, we are called third world countries because Zambians are made to celebrate an IMF bailout. Honestly, these are just money launderers. We are celebrating our own failures. That's what we are doing. Imagine.
Papa.
Huh?
Papa mama. Ukulashana. Ikongo eshkesa shasanga nabe shkulu.
Nakateka babo badina na muri chikrukru vaisura nakariaka nikashanika window bafumya no mutwe panse. Era bali muzambia toilet na era bena Zambia ha? Ni balo wakaisha bena Zambia.
Au kwenda kutimwaipisha tu wabalo wa nani?
Ni nani wabalo wa bena Zambia? Ha? These leaders vekere fyo bale mibepa fyo bufi na ime muletota. Ha? But bena balendera muri krukru. Defu ambo nkabone ba HH bakeme bakayemma markets. Because he doesn't want to listen to people's criticism. He says he ninkani ya maba. Kutukana abena Zambia by saying he ninkani ya maba.
Anik, you remember? Remember one time HH had a live and there are some women online talking about minerals. Not only women, the whole world, the chalo chonsa chilenda bama minerals ya Zambia. Ichalo chonsa chile shibusha bena Zambia. So mamrefa mleta amena Zambia yari wina. Mwila sumile fafa bali machikabieni mukulima. Mwambo no kulima oko bale mituga, oko bale mituma.
Imagine.
You akanwa ngaule if you ngaule fyengeresha abantu. Mwambo na lesefyo aba. Mwaletu mabantu kabieni mukulima nomba infula kulia takuri. So nomba, how are the people going to survive? Akanwa kamukene. To learn that Zambia has been a country which has survived on minerals. Let us maximize the potential of mining. To Zambians, for Zambians to benefit. Why all the youth won't say, pandemia cooperative mukulima. Number mama nemfula takuri. So mulena ndesh. You cannot be telling my youth at Kabian Mukulima when you know that there is global warming. The rain will be there. Rain pattern now, they are unpredictable.
Mama Pumulo, I just want to finish my sentence. So I asked the question, Ndiwe bamani? Nifunsa. Ndiwe bamani? Because bamani mwamena mvera nkani ya maba. Mwamena maba. Mumachoka na ma leaders. Mwamvera, eh? So respect. Wantu wamene wange na maba. You find intellectuals in those bars. So such kwamba tukana vantu ati yoninkani ya maba. Cause that means wamena mavera lyashi amena vamaenda muba. Is only the barman. Cause vamene vaenda kumwa muja vakachoka nishi variko dizzy. But barman eve sanga nkale dizzy kaini wamene agulisa muwa. Mwamvera eh? So learn to respect all the Zambians, the drinkers, the marketeers, the street vendors, and so on and so forth. Stop intimidating the Zambians. Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Kabwe.
Bakabwela ndeni kwa ndeni ba mama kuchimwanana.
Chungulo mkwai.
Mkwai mwaisi.
Alo?
Chungulo mkwai.
Mwati mulengu mfanya no gwino.
Today mi mkwai
land.
Yeah.
Nachi ansha ukusta connect hapa. Twatwata ku road shedding nomba pa kwa tutuma live twaisako. Pali kwa ma issues ngumfuire ali sensitive sana. No tulese ndange charo ngama jokes but na fiona ule chalo sana fe. Na mumona first I wanted to make a comment pa ma point wa batia lead bachibusha. Nalambira pa aka abena ground na CHAMA America. These are the issues that we spoke about, and we said to say no if into kesa tukapopya kalelo. And what has happened is what we said, and it's unfortunate. Ababa rumendo aba utoni that kipumbu oro bantu wa tutu sana. Aba leo na wira icharo padi 50 pin. Because of bale tontonkanya yo in 50 pin tapa no fo ininga bafwa. Na bene bale punda yo bakaba pere mpie shingi. Na bene bali bachita abandon ku Ethiopia. Kasa poninka shandine. Wako wafyatinga kufu maferifu muri na kasapo. Firefyon so kwalera nda fishinka. Barabata tabari pire. Mure umfwa. Oba bama politician abatabaje okusunga ndalama. Na peni baba tamfye go barabatambya mu opposition bakamba byo kurapitana panshi. Bale una ure chalo patunda na mafyo tunono. Tubale una ure po chalo. Because na bena bapumbu bapuba bali verejo kufukamina abantu. Oro wemo mengo watemo kufukamina abantu aba omeba nobe ni shuri chikuba. Ifo kumye suta tukamina omwa omemu nobe. So barana bena bare chitafira na bena bapuba. Na bena mukamona nomba ni bakambokora kufukamina. Oro ndefu kuranda pali uyu mumendo karire fyale tukana bakateka. Omwa pitirefi no tuma tobo kwa tuwa kwa shokwa. Nishita ya kwenda Afrika pesa mubipira. Obo buute kotagure kokoda. Balungu balale ale tukana ko sherero mo sherero bwa mugwacha. Bali kwata abana abengi sana balungu. Oro bale mumfwa no kumumfwa. Yoto muchachera. Chako bafyati opo tuwafika no bali sumisho kora tukana abantu bali mu position. Nokulenga afti ifunde lirabomba konse. Bati achenjere. Aba bantu tabayiza mukwikala abapema kubateka echalo. Bateka pe akwe bati tabasaka bana muntu uri wonse. Mune ni kwe bantu ko tulechuza. There is nobody who is looking to be concerned about our problem. Maybe bamayoba meri barela ndapo nge niye bamayoba meri baraba ko mutendo kuzatanya abantu pamo. No kurete fintu pamo. But bamayoba meri advise ninga bibera advise kweba kibaleta abantu pamutete baleta abantu pamo. Tabasaka mana no omuntu uri wonse no balanda yo chibefi tabasaka mana. Mwene ama sentiments yabo bapasing ama sentiments ata basaka mana. You cannot be mocking umuntu obe na alwala ari mu chipatala ari ku oxygen olo mbombo kala pera ma sentiments ya fila tu alimu bomfeshe kwa chikoropo olo wapusho kolanda statement at by the way may he get well soon. Muna fi example ala gula ndagushala olwe kintu kyako bati abantu bali taking advantage ya Zambians ifi bali masofu techsuma ndemyeba chino ba taking abantu bali ya Zambians atyo noro tuwachie fi noro tuwalande fita pale finga chitika. It's very unfortunate ndemyeba na chilafu andande kuna ili ashirimbi ili balanda mkurekeresha bachirete ili ashirira lilo mfisha sana Bulanda kwa kwa tino nga tuwalolesha ama mindos kwa kwata kwamba kuma emeralds kuri copper kuri gold manganizi ujilite fingi pia kwatinga na tinjano kumipendera pano ndemyeba tete kumfo pwati yo na tukwata kwenkongoro no wemo kuri abamwisa ndemyeba ababantu badishi baro kwishiba ati ifo kwemena Zambia twarikishita that's why batuburira batubikira pamo basa myeba mairwatyo debt restructuring na iposeri mutanta myapa twambye okupya futi mwasa umva futi ukona balongana tiyo na tuchako shereko umo iyo bapuishe futi kwa shala futi umo fo bantu bene barebe paturero shano kuresha tabulanda sana badishi batu baratubepa baje tulikuba ndemyeba because umuntu ngalisha bati mu bantu bene muri bentu abako bati mwari kwata manu tete amyeba ati kintu kinachipwa nseni mwikara patusetiye olo mapesa papite myeshi esa myeba ati yo kire kintu tachapwa na kushara umwe ushereko ndemyeba tumfiwa. And it's very unfortunate that we are the same people that put them in office to help us guide this country. Nokture CHAMA affairs Yesu. De lobalesa mkutu gosha kuruma ukwambo kola de yero menzi GMO 21st century. Iyo nishina kwata sujiraiti gold copper cobalt ngani cobalt lero powered market na ikwata sana value ndemyeba chabulanda sana lelo ofo twingalanda kufecha kwe bati ififine batemo kuona ule cyalo kwa twayipakamisha abantu abanono kwipakamisha afya abantu abanono baraleta feti mu families yabo bonse abo bariyendera mashachalo ama families yabo ndeni banga twatimu atimu bamunya pato ifo twangala na bona bonse abana ba politician bachara femisa kalala so ile bafanye example na bonse abareli ile cyaro ndera makino abana babo bakachara kibafini bala abana babo baje bachala vera mwana kwati nakano mpaka bafika tumbuka mwezi suma ifo twakulana na politician yaba kuna kono pene ine kabwe ndebo bazo kabwe na mwana wa minister babazo kabwe batatu afumene kumporo kosto fwe batwashinkana na politics ya kino cyalo walimo n'abantu abenga abayisana bo bene mu monati bare pitapitana no babiri mapa na bene bakashalanga baraba abana babari abadirira ndabashashino cyalo kabiri ndalama tababika muri kino cyalo batwala kuri barabene bamwisa ebakabapoke ndalama so nero bare kitebe fine dekeni bare pakamisha fya abarabene abana abo bakashika cyari bipa sana kutira ba yufi fya babene ba yufi obo babomfya every day baba bomfya mukitefi mukupoka amaka baba bomfya mutu kwamba kuratukana bana mayo baba bomfya futi kwamba kuratukana na bakaramba Fwebe misepera twayishire sha muchachacha cyari misepera sha manu lero teji misepera sha buno bushuku misepera sha chacha shareima ukwafurisha bashitata na bana mayo kutira kimwe cyaro sipoko buntungwa noti misepera sha pensele murengira ati bachoki parapene opo bali pantu nabakwata backup yakoba bara bale bashako protect ngara tukana chibensere nabakwata capacity ya kuranda na Edgar Lungu ba Edgar Lungu bako bati bantu wakwati ngoba muneti wakunkura no kunkura ba umeba moba ko batwa pero buchinko muntu yose ko ba Edgar Lungu twaisanga ko na bena bantu bomo pera no muchinshi nabayiche Oro tabasu kopo to batemeno because batata balya bena bali tutakamika bali pele chikuna cha bufumu imfumu tayichinjanya mashwine fuba but fwebo kwebana babo chire tukalipo kuda tutukira batata zozi nishita because futa tukana bawishi wabo so mubebeko balaba lumendo bayichindike katemu kanono kako bafatu kupanga ama enemies abenyi ula umbi mu lumendo ali salamu amano because ali kwatamano ula umbi ule mwalimu muna ule umbi ati ali kwatamano ena ule ali monake awe ule ali kwatamano mwana wa mano kana ule ali sa monati kule chane chikuba cyasa kuleterera because kuri muri segaseka emufumari rarida na totero kumpera yishya yakuba turandeko batotera tafo ku time size deke mtu tubike kwa ba umya pana bena bakutira group balance bwino ubuntu baumena bana mayo ne bashitata so bashitata na mutrain sokoro ke tuise pa buntu hapa wafurishe bana mayo
Mama Mary, the floor is yours.
Da totela sana mkwaina kabili pa kumpela ko akashita akakutira ningalanda ko na bena Zambia mlandu wa kusaka mano kalamba amashwi ya mkulekeleshe yo nalalanda akeshi kulukale pilibu ko mashwi ya kutila insansa shiryesha aliko ilio tuwapokele ubutungulu shibu kufuba kuli ba PF mulia mu Heroes Stadium sharifurisha elo shiryensansa nga tatuchenjele shirino kwisa nyobulando bubisana pantu insansa nobulanda fienda fibili abantu nga basansa mukasana ekikonkapo bulanda abantu nga bakwata kubulanda sana ekikonkapo n'insansa so iki kibemba fienda fibili insansa shinyo obulanda nga tatukwata amatwa yakunfefirelanda abantu tukesa isanga muli mwamoneni ifi fyonse balelanda abantu pakomaila nondo nishipali ubulema mukyalo kya Zambia muli ubulema ubu abantu bambi baleta mbafi namenso yeka judgment ni kuntanshi balimba ba UCZ ati kokaba bushiku bwa bupingulo mukalatila lesana lekubombela ombe shina lya nilishita iberere bomuntu kulyamwe ikafike shita ili ababonsa abansekete bale ituka uleta bakaputia amatobo apo ishita irafike yakubaweka nga mwalone tamutina nokutina banyama kada zabaletuka ukalero bali kwisa bali butuka ero we muntu umofyo kula yufa paba umyabe nguzambyo kula tukaba kulu ababa muletukaba balikwata babatemwa ekyo mwiralaba omuntu onse bapumulwa pomwikere mwalikwata bamitemwa nabamipata mama matipa pomwikere mwalikwata bamitemwa nabamipata inengala michite ekibina balya bonse bamitemwa nishibampata mwasansa mukasane sansa shinyo obulanda okubula ba Edgar Chagwalungu kubasangula kwati kawelewele kwati kapuba mutukamfu mutatuka umo akatukana bambi tamu mwene bena chama Amerika tali bamwalukira boss wabo batampo era tapalati
ati liskingi ati twali liskingi efingi
na
sana
bena fimbo poke bale tukana lelo pantu bale ya bale ikuta ngata bale ya ngamasere aliko abena fimbo poke mlenya mulela pira icho baletuka ukile finipa mulani wa contracts bakwete ngata bakwete ama contracts ngabalinga mama chikabonekala pumulo nge baletuka na last dragon kanshi okwali soke bane takwafuire bantu bakoma ila nondo nishipali problem if yakuli obushiku turikira kumalushi ati vyakumona kumenso viloja jilumendo vyakumona kumenso viloja jilumendo vyakumona kumenso viloja mama mati ala chine nisangwapo.com ine nali mwene fye na mwene limona kampatu kema mulichi mayo na kanasi
Hello mama Maria yo waliko kwere okukola ha waliko kwere okupatukamo ha
bama tibabani konesinga banje iwe mama chikamoneka ifyefi dukule duka ulapata waka dukule ala chine mama tulia once per day
ati bape
yo bwa
mama mwaibukisha
awe yakula 10 years nishina tufwa bonse
mama so nomba tu arafirwa okuya pantu namba ine kula paromba
mama I just feel that let's address just a little bit on these traditional ceremonies that have been turned into political arenas for campaigning for politicians. It was shocking for me to see the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Moyo, to start addressing the Nchwala ceremony on what the current government has achieved for this country. I asked myself, is it his duty to start outlining UPND achievements at the Nchwala?
Campaigning.
In what capacity?
It's not outlining, that is campaigning.
Yeah. In what capacity was he reporting? I equally feel our traditional leaders need to be above board and equally not allow politics to take center stage. Shame on the UPND who insulted former president's motorcade when he was coming from a ceremony in the Western province. If this had happened in today's government, the perpetrators would never see the light of day, ever, ever in their lives. We have all seen that. ECL should be free to attend his traditional ceremony. And listen to me carefully, his traditional ceremony, because that's where he hails from. UPND, you do not own Zambia. You don't own Zambia. And so respect the Zambians. Namwene, we're my traditional chiefs. Stop being Baturiemo. Every party that is governing, you want to be oiled in one way or another. Stop this. Because Kunchwala Nomba, it was a restricted area. UPND seemed to have the authority of who should attend the Nchwala ceremony. What a shame. What a shame. I was watching the video when ECL was coming from Western Province. I decided to re-watch that video. And Mr. HH and his cadres were on the road. And when the presidential motorcade was hooting to ask them to get off the road, they were insulting ECO. Ah, fuseki we satanyoko. Shan yuko. Honestly, if I did that, Awaba HH Valesale Misebo all the time going towards Woodland Stadium, Lewanika Mo, the police closed the roads. We all respect that, oh, Mr. HH is passing. So let's all behave accordingly. Because even if I try to just bring my nose of my car a centimeter in, I'll be shot. I'll be shot. We have heard of people dying on that road where Mr. HH lives. A woman was bumped by the motorcade. It's there. I'm not imagining it. And so, do unto others what you'd like them to do unto you. That was a big shame. And from there, we were supposed to see what type of cadres we were going to relieve. That should have sent us a message. Not to Kuyamriamu Stadium, boo, 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 boo. Fiaku indeed, fitulu kila kumalushi. Insansa, shinyo bulanda. Te papa. Your comments, Mama Pumulo, on these traditional ceremonies.
Yeah, in Chwala, I'm even dressed up for the ceremony.
By the way, you are looking exceptional beautiful.
Celebrate our culture. Zambia, if you Google important facts about Zambia, one of them is our diverse culture. And we are one Zambia, one nation. Let us embrace it. So my comments on these traditional ceremonies is that one, this is our culture, all of us. And more especially, for example, if they are celebrating Kuomboka, that is where I'm from. I should not be denied an opportunity to go and celebrate my own cultural ceremony based on past events. Where is forgiveness? Apape ne mama matipa mwachipsha ba HH kwebati ba HH lesa mu paper. Don't you know about forgiveness mu Bible more? You said you would fix it, fixing it. So HH, despite whatever happened in Mongu, there should be a spirit of forgiveness. That is one. But HH, be a bigger person. So how do you think he feels? Just because by HH you are in power, deny opportunity to celebrate with his people. This won't end well. And then tuna kalakumena kudia shirira but expel munia, suspend munia in parliament because of wearing regalia. Mwe bantu bakwaresa. That is a shame. Because wherever them take spell, wale fora chiwigi cha hosi ya fwa. Tatwa kwa tanaka hosi mu Zambia. Echo wale fora kumutwe. Those things should be eliminated and done away with. And we embrace our own culture. As long as umuntu tafwera omubinde ali ubwamba, yes, ifilefea kuchita restrict to the ceremonies. But in parliament, I can show up dressed like this and decently. What is wrong with that? So we are here to say, let us embrace our culture. Why to let us celebrate ama traditional abantu abale tuchita oppress bale abale take obushya tufale fima wigi fyabo na nomba tuchitule fwala which means that wafu mama mubusha bwabo file fima wigi kufifula away with that nonsense. Chanshi wig mufwale cheos. Chanshi. Esho n'abasungu balatumwena mwatta tutontonkanya. Because twalipoka independence nomba filefima wig fyanshi tufwala. Konse kuya kuma court balafala filefima wig fyanshi. Emotion should be passed in parliament no fifunya kofidia. Bafuye fyo kula fwale chiduku balaba mayona musisi. Let us embrace our culture. If you're on the Fokulandapa, Ama chiefs should not be saying in a ruling party, I support the ruling party. No, chiefs, you're supposed to be non-partisan. Chief should not be saying I'm supporting the ruling party. No, then how are you going to bring peace if there's a dispute between the ruling party and the opposition? When a chief says they are supporting a ruling party, neutral, no kuleta abantu pamuabale pisana. How are we going to advocate for a better Zambia if chiefs are openly saying they are supporting a ruling party? That is wrong. We need our chiefs to stand in the gap. Already church yarishima. Mwalimona mapalama neighbors mumba. Abantu abale preaching a Zambia in service will be saved. They are partisan. So who is going to stand in the gap for Zambians? If so what do you want in Zambia? If you don't. So fish Zambia. How do you picture this whole story to end? This is my question today to New Dawn and the praise singers. How do you want your story to end? My last comment on this, summarizing everything, including the Chwara ceremony, you know, I'm a secret MOU, distracting Zambians from them to pay attention for the real things that are affecting the economy and their livelihood. You are entertaining small clowns to divert our attention from the deals billions of dollars while Zambians starve. My question again, Zambians, ask these people, how do they want their story to end when it is all said and done? Because why should they in fact, no mupando if you know portable. We had per weekend send mupando already So my question again, Zambians, let us think critically, let us analyze situations. Let's not be shallow by these noisemakers. To let to distract to think about the real issue. Ama minerals. To have more what I discover copper. Pariumbi watch but we are winning at discover Lake Bangwe in a mocking manner. Bangambia, I don't know what's happening. It's refusing to add you. So let's try tomorrow. I think that is it for now. In an apela papel. But therefore, Hukomaisha emphasizing Zambians. However, you don't. How do they think their story will end? Because and whatever goes up must come down. In other words, whatever goes up must come down. Jataramana jagayo. Alimundira milomba kuti nati tamba video ya Tayali gamuyamu itambe. I know Tayali he's going through a lot of things, but the content, things he's saying there, they are valid. And one of the things which I took away from Tayali's video, he's saying, you Zambians, you are the ones who are cowards. Njigema coward Mazambian. Eh? Because mulasunkirisha abantu akulanda kalande but when the people who are talking ngabama problem, you don't support him. Katambe ni video ya kwa Tayali. I end here, Mama.
Thank you, Mama Pomolo. My parting shots are Zambians, we are the custodians and owners of this land. And so let us own it. Look at the Arabs. They own their resources. And so they have oil, abundant oil in their countries. They call the shots. When will it be the right time for Zambia to own their resources and call the shots? And so we'll be here, we will be giving our checks and balances. It is not our intention to come here and hurt anybody, but we will call these two clowns because they disrespect the Zambian people. And I liked what Mama Maria said. That word, mulenya murerapira, it will come back to haunt you. Imagine in 2026, you still need to go back to your voters. Elama voters benunga bambo kumeba ati mulenya murerapira mukomfashani. Bakapange na kalwimbo mukomfashani. So be careful. Chibande chomurebusha. Chikesa misuma. I thank you all and wish you a pleasant evening. Good night, Mama Pomolo.
Thank you, Anik. And the last word I want to just comment on what you said. Let us own our resources, Chapwa. We can't do away with these companies who come from Zambia. We are just saying, let there be transparency in these deals they are making. We need to know how much Zambia is getting. Yes. To feel it twice, but we need to know the contracts that are being signed. Zambia, let us demand this. If you demand this, Zambians employed him. So for us Zambians to be quiet when my HH is signing secret MOUs, our silence is going to cost us more. So what I'm asking is just for you Zambians to start speaking and demand answers from the president. It's not a one-man show. Zambia is not a dictatorship, and it will never be. But they are trying to make it one. They are trying to make Zambia into a dictatorship by intimidating everyone. But let us own our minerals and let us own our country. Thank you. God bless.